Waimea Variety Management develops and manages new fruit varieties and cultivars, evaluating them at sites around the country. By arranging IP protection, trademarks, plant variety rights and plant patents, the company is allowed to license tested material locally and collect royalties.
Waimea Variety Management was established 10 years ago to focus on the procurement and development of new pip fruit, stone fruit and other varieties, and it also handles apple rootstock development. If you go back over the decades, there was a huge industry good function, particularly in the pip fruit business, going on where I guess Hawke Research or DSIR bred apples. They were released to everybody in the industry to grow, and every nursery that wanted to participate in that was welcome as well. And I guess over time, and with the advent of plant variety rights and plant patents and that sort of thing, that suddenly those avenues for entry became a bit restrictive. Variety improvement happens naturally, and in New Zealand, with our sunlight and things, we seem to get a good proportion of good quality mutations. So when a green apple becomes a red apple by accident and throws out some shoots, the progeny is quite good. We're dealing with orchardists who will find a mutation and bring it to us to maybe handle the first trialling and distribution. And then we will also take that around the world through other nurseries and businesses like ourselves. We've spent a lot of time travelling around the world, making contact with research institutions elsewhere and bringing their material in for testing and evaluation. As far as mutations go, if it's a mutation of something like a Fuji or a Gala or a Bravian mutation or something like that, that's sort of bread and butter for nurseries here and all around the world. And your clients are there, or anybody that wants to buy those varieties and participate in the commodity market with them. And they're generally taking the improvements that we offer to give themselves production improvements to increase packouts and orchard performance. So that's one group of varieties. And then you've got some of the stuff that we're looking at here. This Angeles pear, which is one of our more recent things, but again, we've been working at that for 6, 7, 8 years probably. The commercialisation was with a company called Freshmax. We decided to enter into a program for the local market only in New Zealand, although it's got export possibilities. We haven't got there yet. And we've licensed 6 growers who are pear producers to be part of a small program. It's a little bit grainy, isn't it?
But it's really good. It's the right maturity to be putting it on the shelf, so when people take it and leave it in their fruit bowl for a while, it'll be great. Yep.
We've got Ariane here, which is just reaching the first steps in commercialisation. Bred in France by the government research institution INRA. There's quite a big program of it in Europe and the UK, and we're just the only southern hemisphere supplier that has the right to supply it. It's a black spot resistant apple. This fruit isn't grown organically, but it certainly has a lot more potential to be grown organically, and yeah, it's actually gone pretty well. So the first 5,000-10,000 cartons has been sold this year.
It's fantastic. It's amazing how much the flavour changes from being quite acidic at harvest time to being really sweet now.
It's quite acidic, so it stores well. It's got really good colour on the shelf, as you can see, and there's a market in Europe that likes those sort of really strong flavoured apples.
We have 3 trial orchards through the country. Our trial blocks are on private orchards, and we have an agreement with the owner of the orchard. We give them some money to operate the trial block for us. In many cases, they're protected varieties, so they're protected by plant variety rights, which is like a patent for a plant. And anybody who's got the trees is also, not just on the trial site, but also any commercial plantings will sign a non-propagation agreement, which says that they can grow the trees and grow the fruit and sell the fruit and all that sort of stuff, but they can't grow any more trees. There's only 5 trees of each variety here, and so it's not commercial, it's definitely a trial orchard. There are breeding programs all around the world producing new varieties, and everybody's looking for a better apple. And not just an apple, a better peach, a better nectarine, a better apricot and cherry. It will continue. Some of it is driven by breeders and people like us who want to find new stuff and develop new things. But it is also driven by consumers getting better eating experiences.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.